buh, buh. You know, did you ever notice the only difference between the P sound and the B sound is the B has like voice to it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Buh.
Yeah.
Like, buh. The P is just like a breath. It's like a whisper. But B, it's like a song. Buh. It's like a voice. There's power behind it and music. P is just like, buh. There's no effort.
There have been other people who've done this show with me. Sam Fricke, Steve Schneider, Matt Nix. All the people who have done the show with me, none of them have said anything as fucking stupid as that.
They just don't have the same insight.
No, I just think that
nobody has
another
got
different co-host for Raw Talks Live.
Well,
because that was.
Then I'll never come back here. Well, if you don't appreciate my insight and input, then I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. I have other things I could be doing.
What would you be doing?
Playing Metal Gear Solid, sleeping, and getting a good night's rest before I have to work in the morning. Instead of being here doing this shit where I'm not appreciated by anybody.
Do you talk like that at work?
No, because they appreciate me at work.
If they would not appreciate your work if you talked like that.
I could talk however I want.
You were at a work meeting the other day. I texted you, said I was at a meeting. I'll do it now. Had you in that meeting said, you know, B has a voice. P is just a breath. They would have fired you on the spot.
No, they would.
And then you would have nothing to do except be on this show.
I don't understand why you're coming at me like this.
Because when you say some shit that's stupid, we're here to talk about WWE United Champions.
You told me to say it. Those aren't even my own thoughts. Behind the curtain, he said, "Hey, here's a funny bit that you could do," and then he just set me up to tear me down.
Well, let's be the fuck honest. I think that was a pretty convincing bit to open the show. I think we did a really good job. Did the Dan-Dans, were we impressive? Did we have good performances there? I think I seemed supremely unimpressed with you. And I think you gave off a very authentic, angered
Here's
vibe.
The thing, is like, here's how I get in character.
Yeah.
I'm not a good actor.
I would sometimes disagree. Sometimes you're dog shit.
Here's the thing.
Sometimes you're pretty good.
Let me finish.
The floor is yours.
I'm not a good actor except when it comes to being angry. I'm a good angry actor, boy. And the reason is because I really get into the character when you attack me.
Yeah.
I convince myself it's real. And I get myself legitimately worked up.
I know, because we used to do bits before where you'd be really mad. And I'd go, you know, we do, like, you need to understand I'm doing a bit. And you go, so am I. I'm just doing a bit too. And I'm like, but you're really mad. You go, I need to be to do the bit. Oh, man. So we are here to talk about WWE United Champions. You know, we do a show every Monday night, WWE Raw Talks Live, which we'll be doing tomorrow in the same place, youtube.com/616entertainment. Before we talk about that, I need to address some bullshit on 616entertainment.proboards.com right now, which is a message board that I run. You don't need to sign up. It's a terrible message board. It's bullshit. It's populated with conversations you don't want to be a part of. Anyway, we got a guy on that board, name of Sean Spencer, who made a comment about the Sting versus Rollins match.
Rollins?
Yeah, just one of them.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah, just one of them. He said, so Sting can attack Rollins while he's hurt, but not the other way around. Bullshit. And I just came in to say the difference is Sting's was real. For the Dan-Ins who don't know, before we get right into it, Sting went through a table tonight. His head got knocked off a monitor. It looked nasty. It looked really bad. And so Sean Spencer comes back and he says, that's well and good, but that doesn't mean Rollins should stand there like a face and leave him alone. Now, not trying to be too much of a jerk because he's a soft boy. I say, I don't think you understand real life. When someone is hurt, the show comes second because that guy could really be hurt. If he has concussion and he just fell down for real, we're going to have to call this whole show off and he needs to go to the hospital because that's not good. That's not healthy.
Right.
So you can't let him go over there and take some fake punches just so Seth doesn't look like a face.
Right.
So he comes back with, I don't understand real life because I think Rollins could have done more than stand there and do nothing but arm motions. Whatever you say, bud. You know, The message board culture is something I've been meaning to get away from for a long time.
It's just the internet wrestling
culture. But no, it's not the internet wrestling culture. It's just some of the internet wrestling culture.
Sure.
But
that's a lot of it, though.
I've been meaning to get away from message boards for a long time because there's certain things that you read. I know. You're an admin on the board. You haven't been on since July.
Yeah, but you say, why don't you do it? And now you know.
Because you don't want to see that bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, all I'm trying to get at here is the fact that I don't want to do this anymore. Someone take this board away from me.
Oh,
because
the message board?
Yeah, it's just bullshit. There's only so many conversations I can have about fucking wrestling.
Right.
You know, I brought up the other day on there, I was just like, I want to start doing MMA prediction videos and then reviewing a fight card the way we review like a wrestling card.
Yeah.
But I want to review fight cards because then we can analyze it. We can be like analysts about, well, if he had done this instead of this, I don't know, man, he looked tired tonight. Maybe he didn't put it in the training. Rather than every time we're doing wrestling and it's just like, well, I don't know why they had him lose. Well, they had him lose so they can do this. We're having the same fucking conversation over and over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few wrestling fans out there who likes to say positive things all the time. There's a lot of people on Twitter I have to avoid because it's always blah, blah, blah,
I was
negative.
thinking about this today because you were getting tweets and you were seeing stuff on the internet that was pissing you off, and and it's just like wrestling is such a weird thing.
It is.
Like it there's nothing else like it where
pause real quick. Palmer says he's down for fight cards. That's cool to hear. Palmer, if I start doing this, I'll talk to you. Maybe you and I can do some fight card videos. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. It's such a weird thing where there's not much other things that like the fans of it hate so much.
What a great way to put it.
Like,
that's so true.
I can't think of anything else that the fans, the people that love the shit hate the shit more than other people that don't watch.
Yeah. It's like if you ask almost any modern wrestling fan nowadays, it's just like some non-fan is like, why should I watch that fake bullshit? And like a fan like you or I would be like, dude, it's so much fun. I saw like, oh, so it's fake. Who cares? You know what else is? Aliens, Terminator, Predator. These are all awesome things. Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. People love this shit. You got like Max Landis worded it perfectly. You have to watch wrestling like you're watching Game of Thrones. There's great payoffs. There's fun stories. There's all these crazy things that happen, but I feel like if you go online and you just type on some message board, why should I like wrestling? And they'll be like, because fucking Triple H starts every show with a promo and John Cena sucks.
I watch.
And then that non-fan is going to be like, wait, I should watch this? And they'll be like, oh yeah.
I saw this video. I think it was like College Humor did it or something.
Yeah.
And it was after a pay-per-view. And it was these two guys in an office talking about like WrestleMania. And like they both hated wrestling. Yeah. But one was a non-fan and one was a fan.
This is brilliant.
And so the one guy was like, it's all fake. Like, you know what's going to happen. And then the one guy's like, I know. And like Seth Rollins should be the champ, but he's not. And like, they're just like talking, like not even talking to each other.
Yeah.
And the one guy was like, wait, how did it go? And he was like, wait, you like wrestling? He's like, yeah, that's why I hate it.
See now, but when smart people like that, people much smarter and funnier than us, get that something in their mind and they write a skit about it, that's such a perfectly like funny but elegant way of putting that. No. I do love it. That's why I hate it. Like that makes it almost sound endearing, like it's something you want to be a part of.
Right.
Oh man. You know, we normally start Raw Talks Live and everyone has to make sure they have their brown gloves, but this isn't Raw Talks Live. So what do we open with?
The detectives.
I don't have that clip. But I think, you know what? Back in the day, in order to watch Night of Champions, you would have had to have been a cable boy. Are you a cable boy?
No risk, I swear. The Mets have 75 games on cable this year. You won't regret it. Yeah, Jerry's going to be that cable boy.
Can we make that a thing?
I feel like Kofi is stolen some, or like Big E has stolen some moves from Kramer.
Big E has definitely borrowed a couple moves from Kramer. Kofi hasn't, because Kofi does an upward clap.
That's all Kofi. nobody else
Kofi,
is doing
man,
that
I
shit.
fucking love Kofi. But what we do on this show, normally when it's Raw, it's not. This is a pay-per-view. Myself, name of Ian, at Idea616 on Twitter. I co-host this show with the artist formerly known as Mike Charles.
Mhm.
Where can they follow you on Twitter?
At the artist 616. Thank you very much.
What we do is we take wrestling events, sometimes Raw, sometimes pay-per-views, and we cover them match by match, promo by promo, segment by segment. We review the whole show with our Dans who are in the chat. We all have a fantastic time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we start with the A story, the most important part of the night. But before we do, I want to say thanks to the Dan who are here with us. D-Ray popped in first. And he says, nobody else has the Banker Boy's body and the brains of the artist. No one can see your belly.
There we go.
Get up and give him a little belly
Nope.
bounce.
Nope.
No?
That comes later.
We got Adam DeVries, a.k.a. System, in the room. We got Palmer in the room, who's a Dan, you know what I'm saying? And let's talk about the A story tonight. What's the A story in your
So
mind?
the A story is the Seth Rollins business.
Mhm.
He had 2 matches, but they kind of were one segment because they bled into each other. They went right back to back. So starting off, we got Seth Rollins versus Dr. John Cena,
Mhm.
who saves Cancer Boys from Life of Cancers. What did you think of the wrestling?
I know you referenced the joke that we made earlier, but I was catching up with something real quick.
That's all right, no problem. It's no biggie. Yeah, tweet.
So are you want to talk about Cena Rollins first, or do
Yes.
you want to talk about?
I think we should talk about Cena Rollins first.
Okay.
Because then it's important, what
Okay.
happens in the next match is, what happens in this match is important for
Mhm.
what happened in the next match.
I want to say right
Mhm.
now we are talking about Cena Rollins. What I'm going to say is, you want to talk about chemistry, because these two dudes have it.
They do.
These guys have chemistry,
Mhm.
and I don't think there's a lot of people on the roster who one-on-one have the chemistry that Cena and Rollins have together. Cena and Rollins have similar chemistry to Cena and Punk. Like those guys,
I've never really
they
watched
had
them
great
wrestle.
matches together. Punk and Cena, I can't remember a bad match that they've ever had against one another. There's one match where they both got fined, or fined. I don't know if it actually happened for real. But Cena powerbombed Punk, and Punk gave Cena a pile driver on
Those are
Raw.
both illegal.
They were just having like a really great match, and the pile driver is a move that is legit banned. Like they don't want guys doing it for their safety.
right.
And they did it anyway because they were like, fuck you. They gave it the Austin.
Nice.
Remember when,
Sometimes you gotta give it the
were you there when we went sledding and Wolf gave that tree the
Mhm.
Austin? Oh man, real quick aside. Me, Dunbar Jengis, Dan Wolf, Corey Fisher, we go sledding. There's so much snow on the ground, and there's these giant hills in the back of Corey's house. They're just enormous.
Yeah, I've been sledding there.
So tall. And Wolf goes, I'm going to go down this side of the hill. It's way too steep. And I go, it is way too steep, and you're going to go in that lake. He goes, I'm not going in the lake. So he goes down the hill. There's fucking bushes and shit and rocks. Like, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
He goes down. His legs hit a bush. He starts spinning uncontrollably because he's on a goddamn inner tube going down a 40-foot
The
hill.
saucer.
Yeah, almost, no, an inner tube.
Oh my, like an inflatable?
Yeah, almost hits a tree, and as he's going past the tree, spinning in circles, he's going like this to the tree. And then he hits a different tree. His feet hit it, makes him spin faster, and he goes right in the fucking lake, breaks through the ice into the water.
Really?
Yeah, and we had to run down there and rescue him out of the lake.
Oh my god.
And I go, I told you were going to go in the lake. He goes, yeah, but I gave that tree the honor. Wolf is one of my favorite people in the world.
I
It's
know.
been so long since I've seen him, and that's a major bummer. But Cena and Rollins have chemistry, and that's not a bummer.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Tell me about this match. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, and then we get off of it.
I really liked the match. I agree
Mhm.
with you about them. I always like the way I thought I had this thought where Cena gives Rollins the AA
Mhm.
and he lands on his feet. And I'm like, why do people keep trying to do moves where he can land on his feet? Like, stop suplexing.
He's
him.
too agile.
I know, like just gonna land on his feet every time. But that's you got to create adversity. He's got to fail so he can succeed.
We mentioned Punk earlier.
Yeah.
And I could not help but think while I was watching this match about the chemistry Punk and Rollins would be having
Oh
in a main
man,
event feud right now.
I haven't even thought about that.
I don't know if they had a one-on-one match in WWE. Punk faced all three of the Shield at the Royal Rumble, I think, and I think he beat him. But I don't really remember. No,
Wait,
it was
what?
TLC or something. I don't know. He
3
talked
on
to
1?
Yeah, I think he won. He talked about it on part 2 of the Cabana podcast.
Wait,
I didn't watch that match.
Wait, what was the match where Seth Rollins went through like 50 tables?
That was the Shield's debut at TLC
Okay.
2012.
Because I remember watching that.
Yeah, that was fun. Or 2013. It was TLC.
We watched
13.
that at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I-
that was fun. That was like your intro to sitting down watching a full show.
Yeah.
Other than maybe like one
I
WrestleMania.
remember that. I think this was the same match or the same
Mhm.
same show where the Big Show pulled out the big chair.
Oh, the big chair.
Well,
It's the big chair.
Whoa, it's the big bad chair tonight.
And then we always wanted a big table and a big ladder.
Well, didn't they do a big ladder?
They did a big
before?
ladder.
The
We
big
have
ladder
not gotten
was
a big table.
before the big chair.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, I guess it was pretty special because show like it was
It was
basically
a ladder match, right? Where
yeah,
you had to
like
climb it.
you've got the ladder that's set up like this, but show had it was like just a ladder here and a ladder here that came to. It was enormous.
That makes
That
sense.
thing had to be so
the funny
heavy.
thing is, it's like that makes sense why because he needs that to climb.
Yeah.
Like so he built it.
Mhm.
Did he have that chair custom ordered?
He had to have.
like that's just like the furniture. That's a chair from his house.
No,
like,
like,
all his furniture looks like that.
you go to a men's big and tall store to get like a custom suit made.
Yeah.
Do they also make furniture? Or was there just like some old man like twiddling his thumbs in the corner with a tape measure around his neck and show was like, think you can make a big chair?
I think he
he's
had
like,
to
I'll
make-
make the biggest chair.
I think do you think like the first time he made it, it was way too big? And like Joe looked like a small boy on it.
It was like
He was
that,
like it's too big. Bumps.
like that scene in Elf when Will Ferrell has Bob Newhart sitting on his lap. The size is just way off. System says that Rollins had 2 great matches and Sting handed in a very good performance. We're getting there. I do not disagree with that at
Yeah.
all. If we,
Go ahead.
if we're still talking about Rollins and Cena, the internet marks always talk about how like, oh, Rollins has had a bad reign. He always looks weak. Like even though he lost to Cena tonight, he looked fucking great.
He looked,
That's John Cena, and he went toe to toe with him. He almost beat him. He got beat. Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
He looked great.
he didn't lose his title.
He lost that
his,
one.
Not the big one though.
No.
That's what I mean. But yeah, I was glad
Mhm.
that I thought it was cool that we were gonna get a double dose of Rollins.
Yeah.
because he's one of the best guys. I was surprised though that of the placement
That they were
did it
back to back.
Mhm. After the second match of the night. I said I bet the U.S. title match is gonna be next
Mhm.
because I figured it had to be early in the show, so it gave them time.
Yeah.
And like neither one of the matches were that long. Like the U.S. title match was like fairly.
Yeah, but you put them together, and Rollins worked like 35 or 40
I know.
minutes.
Yeah.
It was long.
And like to me, I kind of questioned that with like, why would the Authority do that?
Mhm.
You think they would want to give their boy time to rest? But
Yeah, but they're doing this weird thing
where
with him, where
they're
like
starting a feud.
they hand pick him, and like, oh, you're the man now. And like, don't you think they would want to protect him?
Mhm.
But then I guess maybe you can point to the fact that Seth Rollins has made the comments. David says he's out. I didn't even know he was here. Bye, David. It was good seeing you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. He's made little comments here and there about being as good as Triple H.
Right, and they're
stuff
like starting
that.
to like have heat.
Yeah, but like, do they? Because like they
No,
make him
not
a
really.
statue, and you're the man.
But it's
And
like
then
they're
it's
starting
just
to
like,
like build to that.
Anytime someone wants something to do with Seth, they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
But then it's extra confusing because then Seth is just like, yeah, I can beat him. But then the whole like lead up to it is kind of just like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if they know what they want to
it's
do right
weird.
now.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's very weird. Rollins versus Cena to close and to move on to Rollins Sting. I thought it was great.
Mhm.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to compare it to any of their other matches because, number one, I don't have that good of a memory. Number two, stop comparing shit. Just enjoy it.
Yes.
Just enjoy. Just enjoy everything individually.
I
You know what I'm saying?
Bravo's here.
Of course Nigel Bravo's here. Hashtag get fucked. Palmer says, pretty sure we're getting Triple H versus Rollins at Survivor
Yeah.
Series.
Oh, I thought maybe at Mania.
You think he's onto something?
Yeah. When they first started being like, and when Steph was like, you're not as good as Triple H. Maybe one day, but you're not right now. And like it was like, okay, maybe they're building heat between Seth and H. I think I might have even said to you that like, Seth versus Triple H at Mania. I think it would happen at Mania.
I don't think so. Like they easily could do it there, but they got, what are we? We're going into October, so November, December, January, February, March, April. That's half a year to keep doing that. I don't think they're going to cook this that long.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, they could do it. Palmer says Survivor Series, and I don't know if that's a prediction for him or if that's some shit that he has from reading the dirt sheets or whatever. I definitely think he could be right, because if you look at tonight, spoilers, Kane came back. So obviously at Hell in a Cell, Seth versus Kane. Seth goes over. So then going into Survivor Series, like, this whole time Seth can be talking about, maybe tomorrow night at Raw, he's just like, man, I'm as good as Triple H or whatever, and Stephanie can just be like, I don't know if you're that. And then Seth can say some shit just like, when's the last time Triple H... No, that doesn't work. I was going to say, when's the last time Triple H beat Cena and Sting in the same night, but that's not the way they went with it.
Well, he didn't
so that idea doesn't work. Whatever, they'll figure it out. It's not my job to write it. It's my job to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think Rollins and Cena had a great match. What do you think?
I liked it.
So we'll move on to Rollins versus Sting.
Rollins versus Sting. So Rollins just gets pinned. He's a little painful boy.
He's a painful boy.
He's laying in the ring. Sting comes out. He had a sweet ass jacket on.
Dude, such a good jacket. I complained on the last Raw Talks that we had a major lack of jacket going on. This jacket was awesome. It was red, had some awesome black tassels coming down. Look at that pin here. It's getting long.
Smell it.
I don't want to.
Nah, you don't want to.
No, it's not the thing I want to do.
It's a smelly day.
System says, I wouldn't have Kane feud with Rollins yet. System, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you waiting for? Yeah.
Rollins versus Kane has been being cooked for like a year now. Yeah. And then it, like, for 3 months, it just seemed like they weren't ever going to pay it off. Like, oh, we started this. Fuck it. Let's do something else. Lesnar breaks Kane's ankle and then writes Kane off TV. That's why he's been gone. And it's just like, they're not going to do anything with this. Like, not even Lesnar Kane. Now that's dropped. Kane is back now. He comes out. He chokeslams Rollins to say, I put up with your bullshit for that long. Even the Authority is sick of you. Fuck the Authority, because I'm done with them too. That big motherfucker breaks my ankle and you just let him do it? Mm-hmm. Like, I thought we were in this together, no?
Yeah.
Kane is going to be out for blood. He had the mask on. And Michael Cole made a point to say, Kane had his ankle broken by Brock Lesnar, but this Kane, this Kane is the demon Kane. So he's letting you know, that guy was a pussy. But this guy could beat Seth Rollins. So you better buy Hell in a Cell. Like, that's clearly where we're going. System says, I want Sting as champ first, damn it. Never going to get it. Go watch old WCW DVDs, because that's the only time you're going to see Sting with a belt.
This was our only shot.
Yeah, this was it. Yep. And he almost died. So
yeah, unfortunately.
So, two things I want to say real quick before we get into the match. Number one is, I was looking at it right here. First thing I have to say is Sting can still go. Mm-hmm. I wrote that before he collapsed because he got really fucked up. But he's not old and decrepit to the point where it's just like, what is he doing in there?
Right.
Like, do I think maybe they shouldn't have pushed an almost 60-year-old man through a fucking table?
With the monitor still
and if you're going to, prepare it so he just, like, the table cushions the fall the way it's supposed to. I mean, goddamn, did they even practice that?
Like, how often does a guy go through the announcer chair's table with the monitors in it?
Not very often. The last time I remember it is when Batista and Orton killed Daniel Bryan through it, and Orton landed on the fucking monitor because they didn't do you see a pattern here? Take the fucking monitor down.
Honestly, I might be wrong. I feel like they took it out, but one fell underneath it.
Because
he took it in the cord.
Yeah.
So that they even did it for that. They took it out, and it just fucked up. They didn't even try.
Did you think they even practiced this? Because it didn't look like it.
It was so sloppy.
Sting just took a step back, and then gravity took hold, and he fell. But he fell too early. Like, here's Sting's legs. Like, he's here on this table. He should have gone, oh, bang, through the table, the center of it. He just stepped off this table, started falling. His legs got clipped right there, and then he went, and he crashed through the table. I think it was Palmer on the board said, I think Sting managed to trip while falling, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm miscrediting who said that, but whoever said that, that was pretty funny.
It did not look good.
No, that wasn't a very good idea.
One thing about the start of the match, like we're kind of going backwards now, but you were talking about how like Sting came out and was like soaking it in.
Yeah.
Like why is he wasting time? Like he should just get in the ring.
Mhm.
And like since Rollins was still hurt, and then he gets in the ring and just immediately attacks Rollins. And I think Michael Cole was like, Sting wasting no time. And it was like he wasted like 5 minutes.
They just stopped for popcorn on the way to the ring. Like that guy who snuck in the ring with the Shield was hanging out with him, having a conversation. Like Sting wasting no time. Palmer says that was me. That was funny. So I give you major credit for that. Seth, in my opinion, did a great job carrying this match.
Yeah.
That does not mean I'm burying Sting and saying Sting can't wrestle.
Well,
it means that Seth is young. Seth has experience out in the WWE ring, knows how to time everything well out there. And if you had your volume up, you could hear everything they were saying.
He was talking the whole time.
You could hear this entire match getting called. Like the part where Seth went for the first powerbomb and Sting didn't come up all the way. And Rollins like put his hand underneath and lifted him. He goes, get up! And he like pulled him up. He was I didn't take that as the bad guy Seth Rollins telling Sting like, get up so I can beat you. I took it as he's telling like this old guy like, come on man, we can do this.
Yeah.
Like we got to make this look good. You know, so
Yeah.
Seth carried the shit out of this. That's not me burying Sting.
No, that's
I just think Seth is so good that he can do that, and Sting is a guy who can trust how good that Seth is. It's just like, you know what, man, let's go out there and do the best we can.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously Sting's a legend. He's been doing it for way longer, but Rollins is doing it every fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he doesn't have as much experience as Sting, but he has like fresher experience, if you know what I mean.
So Sting goes to the table, hits his head really hard, gets fucked up. You could see the scrapes and the welts on the back of his arms and on his shoulders. I was expecting us to start seeing blood coming out of the back of his head.
That would not have been good. Oh my god!
Like no, it wouldn't have been good at all. And when he went through the table at first, I thought he might have been fucking knocked out because of how hard he hit his head. And we can't forget the fact that he's old.
He's an old man.
He is an old man. And like before we get to this point, Seth Rollins gets back body dropped over the top rope, does a fucking handstand on the top rope before coming over. He goes to springboard, Sting pushes him. He goes fucking 9 feet in the air and lands on his feet on the outside. Stop doing that. It makes me so nervous.
I know. It's like you're gonna break a foot.
You're gonna break a foot. You're gonna break an ankle. You're gonna break a leg. You're gonna tear your knee up.
He's gonna break his toe.
That's nothing.
Have you broke a toe?
Yeah, I've broken almost all of my toes.
I never broke a toe.
You've never broken a toe?
No, I never broke nothing.
That's unbelievable.
Except everything in my house.
I've broken both of my pinky toes probably 2 or 3 times a piece.
I'm safe.
The 2 next to that I've broken once or twice a piece. I've never broken a big toe, and I've never broken the second toe.
I feel like when people break, like every time I've seen somebody break their big toe, it almost fell off.
Like John Jones.
John Jones or this guy in a YouTube video who slipped on butter.
The way you said that, you sound like a child. He slipped on butter.
He went right into the kitchen counter.
And he was like, oh no. I don't ever want to break my big toe.
I don't want to break nothing.
I've jammed it.
I'm not going to break nothing.
Palmer says you're not a man unless you've broken a toe.
Guess I'm not a man then. I'm an artist.
You're a bloke boy and you're a banker boy.
I got a lot of jobs.
I got really nervous when they're in the ring, and you can hear Seth because Jay says, "What are you doing to your toes?" I don't know. I get hurt a lot. I've broken a lot of bones.
He's punting footballs barefoot over here.
That's not true at all.
You
don't punt footballs with your toe.
You don't know how to punt. Obviously, you're not an NFL punter.
Neither are you, and I don't think you.
I don't try to punt with my bare feet.
Neither do I. I've never punted barefoot. I have, but it was a Nerf ball, so I was fine. Jace, I get hurt a lot. We'll talk about it later.
How do you feel about the extra point being moved back to be a 35-yard kick?
How long was it before?
Like it was super short, like a 20-yard field goal.
Doesn't seem like much of a difference.
Four extra points were missed in week 1. That's more all season last year.
So the NFL has the awareness to change, like, oh, move the starting kick, whatever you call that, the kickoff. Move that up, so no one really has to return it anymore. Just kick it out of the fucking backfield every time. Like, ruin this for everyone.
Not necessarily.
So and then what they do is take the extra point, which could be removed anyway, because it's at this point it's almost fucking guaranteed.
That's why they moved it back, and it's not guaranteed anymore.
Okay, well, so they've adjusted both kicks, but they still they won't let anyone dance.
Oh, I agree with that. Well, you can, like, the problem I have with the dancing is the rules are so arbitrary. Like,
they shouldn't be rules.
I know.
If a guy scores a touchdown and he wants to do a spinner-rooney, he should be able to fucking do it.
What's the spinner-rooney?
The Booker T's thing, 5 time, and he does like a little break dance.
That'd probably be fine.
It's
when group. It's when
they'd find the shit out of you for that. I think they definitely
so.
would. I think anything. The rule is anyone that draws attention to themselves.
That's not true. Guys dance in the end zone all the time.
Yeah, but
And
I've heard that wording before. If you draw attention to yourself, it can be
I've never heard
flagged.
that.
I've heard it.
There's specific rules where, like, you can't use the ball as a prop. You can't take your helmet off in celebration. You can't do group celebrations.
Why?
I don't know. It's stupid shit.
Because it is stupid shit. Get rid of that. I think I saw a rugby team like a month ago on YouTube. A guy, whatever their fucking version of a touchdown is, his teammate ran up to him and tried to touch him, and the guy ducked it and gave him a rock bottom and did the entire people's elbow thing to him. And then he walked away, and another teammate came up and pinned him while another teammate went down and counted the 3. It was the coolest fucking thing. It went viral, and in the NFL, they would kill you. They would throw you out of the league, and they'd hit you with a car.
I don't know about that.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
It's bullshit.
I like dancing.
Let's go to the chat real quick. Jace says, what are you doing to your toes? We already talked about that. That's why they're breaking. You're punting wrong. Palmer says there's a ton of missed extra points. Wrong. There's not a ton.
No,
You're a football boy.
There will be now.
There could be now.
4 were missed in week 1. That's a ton of missed extra points.
But before, there were not a ton.
No, and that's why they did it, because it was automatic. It's not, and it changes the dynamic of the game.
Are they going to patch Madden?
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know when this rule went into effect. Palmer says someone needs to educate Ian on football. No, I don't. I don't care about football. So that'll be that with that. Jay says, no, it would be bad. You can't go to the ground. I don't know what he's talking about. They'll fine you for synchronized dancing.
That's what I'm saying.
Why? Fuck you. If they want to do a fun dance, let them go ahead. Gina's in the chat. I'm glad she's here. I'd watch football if the New Day came out and danced for 5 minutes every time there was a touchdown. I would invite Gina over and we would watch football together because I don't want to watch football.
I already watch football, but if that happened, I don't know what I'd do.
I think you'd go from a football boy to a football dad.
I'm speechless. I'd have a Super Bowl party every week.
I think that'd be a lot less special.
For the New Day.
Jace is giving me updates here. Breaking news from Jace. Madden is already set for the new extra point. So I'm just out of the loop. But I don't care about football.
I don't play Madden. So
you don't play because you're bad at it.
I don't like it. I'm bad because I don't care about it. It's not a fun game.
So if we're still talking about Sting Rollins, like this is a wrestling show, right? I got really nervous because you can hear everything. System just says football in quotation marks. You can hear everything they're saying, and Seth backs Sting up into the ropes and he says, duck the line. And he throws him, and Sting like barely got to the ropes. Comes back, and Seth throws this slow clothesline, and Sting just like crumbled and fell down. And his face was like this. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I think he's in a lot of pain. And I started to get nervous, and they pulled him away. They pulled Rollins away, and they separated Sting. And the referee bends down by him, and he puts his hand in the back of his belt, which I don't. Maybe he can talk backstage. I don't fucking know. He's communicating with someone. They got an earpiece, but at one point he went like this. So I don't know if he's got like a lapel mic right there, but
probably
not a lapel because your lapel would be like right here.
Well, I mean, it could.
That's
be
a collar.
Yeah, but it's called a lapel mic.
I know. I'm just trying to be more
It's
specific.
like a lav.
Yeah.
Lav mic, they call it.
But I was getting really nervous. And then they pull Sting aside and he like backs up into the corner and they bring in another guy out there and they're talking. And they were probably trying to figure out what they should do.
Mhm.
Like, do we call this right now? And like, they're probably thinking, how do we spin this tomorrow on Raw? Like, oh, Rollins threw Sting through a table and he was so injured he couldn't compete.
Yeah.
Like, Sting put up a valiant effort, but the ringside physician stopped the fight. You know, you could spin it that way. Sting is stubborn. He was probably basically telling them, like, get out of my way. We're going to do this one way or another. Give me a minute, and then we're going to do this. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. I can't tell you what happened. But I was nervous. I thought he was going to fall down again, and like the show would just go off the air with Rollins holding the belt, them not showing Sting because he's being taken to the hospital.
Oh, that wouldn't be good.
I just hope he's okay.
Yeah. I'm just...
See if there's anything being said about Sting online real quick.
These guys, man. Him and, like, Taker. Like, at a certain age, you just got to know when to stop, you know? And, like, Sting...
I think we know for sure Sting is on his farewell tour.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's fine, but I don't know. It's just like I love watching him like wrestle in the WWE, but at the same time, I don't like it. Just sucks because like he's so vulnerable to get hurt, and I don't like that shit. You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, I'm not seeing anything online about him collapsing or anything. So
I don't think it was a concussion.
It easily could have been.
The way he was like when he was like acting in pain in the ring, that didn't seem like a concussion injury. He was kind of like holding, like
I didn't think so. I thought he was just moving very slowly. He went down and he was just kind of in the fetal position, like oh yeah, God, like his equilibrium looked like it was off because, as Jace is saying, he almost fell on the first Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like going from one leg to the other and trying to pivot, like if your equilibrium's not there, you're gonna fall down, and he almost did fall, and that's fucking scary. So I just hope Sting is okay.
I do too, of course.
Because I love that man. I love that dad.
Do you think he'll wrestle at least one more time in WWE?
If they do, it's WrestleMania and he's gone. But I don't think they're gonna use him until then. And like, if you're in the office, does this make you want to use Sting more?
No.
You know.
But just don't fucking put him through a table.
Well, they had to do something to give the excuse of why could Sting, this legend that they're built, like hyping and putting over so hard, why could he not beat a fucked up Seth Rollins? That's why they had to do the table spot. Because you put him through the table and it's just like, oh, well, Sting made the miscalculation of like, he got ahead of himself and he paid for it. You know, Seth Rollins, ever the opportunist.
Right.
You know, that part kind of writes itself. Gina says, has anyone noticed there's been a lot of almost botches on a lot of matches lately? What's going on that they are taking bad timed / placed bumps? People fuck up.
They're human.
Yeah. Gina says, especially pay-per-view nights. Yeah, man. Tensions
Big
are high.
pressure.
Nerves are
pressure.
up. You know, that shit's going to happen. System says, I hope he's all right. This probably being Sting's last run is why he should at least have a short run with the title. If they were going to do it, they would have done it. System, I love you. You made a great video the other day called Snapple on a Plate. I want to watch it again.
What?
It was so fucking funny. But it's not going to happen. Sting with the title.
He wants to believe in something, man. Believe.
He can believe, but he's setting himself up to be extremely disappointed. If it was going to happen, it would have happened. User Palmer's question about football while I look for System's video.
Chicago Bears, Palmer. What about you?
That's your answer? You bought me like a second and a half.
Well, I'm waiting for his response.
Yeah, we can't just sit here in the fucking silence, though.
Why not? It's like a conversation.
Jay says it was totally a concussion, and I think he and I are on the right page there. System, tweet me the video of Snapple on a plate. You know what I mean? System says, I would venture to Sting wasn't at fault here. Why didn't they move the fucking monitor? It's just one of those things. Palmer says, I need to get around to Soggy Pebbles, to the Soggy Pebbles video.
Is that another video?
System says, stop pissing on my hopes. I'm not pissing on your hopes. I'm saying it's not going to happen. It's not going to. That's hilarious. Palmer says, okay, he'd made up for it. Bears suck. I'm a Jets fan. He goes, Jets suck too.
So
that's funny. He and Colin Moriarty would get along.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So this match finishes really weird. Sting goes for the Scorpion Deathlock, almost falls over because he's fucked up. Rollins gets to the ropes. Rope break. Sting gets almost pedigreed again, sweeps the legs out again, goes for the Scorpion, steps over again, roll up, 1, 2, 3. Like, if you wanted
It was
to...
so anticlimactic.
Because that, to me, almost feels like had Sting gone for the Scorpion Deathlock and Rollins got the roll up 1, 2, 3, then it's just like, oh man, Sting was all fucked up. The concussion is catching up to him. He went through the table. But Sting almost getting pedigreed, Scorpion Deathlock to the ropes. Almost getting pedigreed. Him going for the same thing again. Why would Seth not know what was coming? You know? It almost just makes it look like Sting made a tactical error and paid for it.
It was weird.
I mean, it's fucking wrestling, but it was weird. It makes me wonder if that's what they were going to do. If that's what that finish was going to be.
I don't think so.
They may have gone with a roll-up because, like, maybe Sting was supposed to take a pedigree. And maybe someone in the referee's ear was saying, don't you dare pedigree him.
I bet that's what it was.
Like, it easily could have been. Like, the finish could have been for fucking Sting to win and then get brogue kicked.
I don't think...
But and they're going, you can't kick that guy right now. Like, he is a major liability.
See, I don't think so. I don't think they would have changed it that much.
I'm just playing around with ideas.
Yeah, I know. But, like, if Sting was supposed to win, he can just win with the Scorpion Deathlock.
Mm-hmm.
Then... Yeah, I get it. It's it's hard for like Sheamus to come in.
Yeah.
Like, what is Sheamus gonna do to like pin him?
Real quick, this pay-per-view was...
I just don't think it's gonna...
One of the best things about this pay-per-view, no Orton match, no Sheamus match. Let alone no Orton versus Sheamus match.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of that,
we got to wrap this up real quick, this match.
Okay.
Sting versus Rollins, what did you think?
It was okay.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It was about as good as I expected.
Right.
Sting did everything he could to make this match fun. He took the table bump. He did a fucking dive to the outside, which was a horrible idea. Fucking Sting should be thanking Rollins up and down for catching him like that, because Sting's knees still hit the floor, and Rollins took the brunt of that dive. He took all 250 pounds of that dad coming off the top rope.
When I see him and like I just think about like my dad doing that.
How old's your dad?
Like 57.
I think that's how old Sting is on the dot.
So
System says he sent me the video, and yes, he did. Now, here's the story behind this. I said to System, or I just said generally on the board, I wish more of my friends would do dumb shit, like YouTube videos, like just start doing something. And so System posts this.
Oh, God.
Oh, I gotta click it again.
Video of the year.
That legitimately made me laugh my fucking ass off.
Video.
I love that.
The year.
Like, and the best part is like he picks it up and takes it out of frame, and you think the video is gonna end, but if you listen, you can hear like a like of him drinking. Oh man, is it weird to say that that's my kind of humor? Because it's not funny. Like, not objectively, it's not funny. But the fact that it's not funny is really funny. To me, at least. That's how I feel about it. We got Danins in the chat. We got Jay saying, stop the Sheamus hate. He is your favorite world heavyweight champion, fella.
Future. Not favorite.
He is your future world heavyweight champion, fella.
Maybe not. Maybe he fails in this cash-in. But
I
then
hate
what's
Sheamus.
the point?
Gina says, Sheamus is bae.
I hope you're joking.
No, if
I'm just kidding.
If Gina has Sheamus as her bae, that's fine.
I'm just kidding.
Anyone can be her bae that she wants. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wish David was here. He could give us new baes. New bae rocks. New bae rocks. You know what I'm saying? Palmer says Sheamus is a shitty lobster head, the worst lobster head of all lobster heads.
He's never said anything more dead on.
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. He says, "Go away, Bay." I don't know if he's talking about the word Bay. So we both think Sting Rollins was pretty good.
It's okay.
Sheamus comes out,
Oh man.
runs in the ring, brogue kick. Now let's act this out. I'm Sheamus, you're the referee. Big brogue kick. And Sheamus goes, "I want to cash in." No, we need something bigger. We're gonna go with the Steve Jobs auto or the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson. I got pretty far in it, but
Can you believe they're making another Steve Jobs movie?
apparently it's really good.
It looks way better.
It's Michael Fassbender.
I feel like the Ashton Kutcher one was like, Steve Jobs is cool. Look at all this cool stuff he made.
So I'm Sheamus. Brogue kick. I want to cash in. Referee, I'm a terrible piece of shit. I want to cash in my belt or my thing. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to cash in my thing. And then Michael Cole. Sheamus is looking to cash in the Money in the Bank bullshit.
It wasn't as bad as the last time because the ref completely, for like 10 minutes, was so confused. He wouldn't take it from the hand. This time, he took it and was like, all right, this match was going. So, like, neither the ref nor the bell person knows what the Money in the Bank briefcase means. They don't know what that is. He says, and the bell counter is like, with the fucking thing. Huh?
What is this?
No,
It's like, you're the ref and I'm the timekeeper. Go
the
ahead.
match show's over. I can't ring the bell.
You're the ref. I'm the timekeeper. Go ahead. I'm the timekeeper. You gotta look
I know.
at me.
Ring the bell. Ring it.
This one?
Yeah, no.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know either. Sheamus told me to.
I don't know. Oh man. Palmer says the
What
first
the
one.
fuck is this briefcase?
System says he was audibly
If I was
cursing.
Sheamus, I'd be so fucking mad at the ref and the bell keeper.
You fucked me 2 times. System says he was audibly cursing at his iPad when Sheamus came out. Gina says, I figured artists would be happy I'm into gingers. Gina's got a high opinion of herself. Anyone that Gina's
I don't even
into,
know you.
Yeah.
I don't even know you. Gina.
Anyone that Gina's into should just be so thankful that Gina's into him. I mean, I'm sure she's a great girl. Maybe I'm not. Maybe she's just okay.
Hey Gina, Facebook me.
What's your Facebook? You got to give it out.
I don't know the link.
You weren't one of those guys who, when the time came around, you could reserve your thing?
Nah.
Mine's facebook.com/Ian.Shearer.
I never thought I'd be famous.
How did you not think you were going to be famous? Palmer says the most accurate thing of the night. Breaking news. Palmer is accurate once again. He says John Goodman is Bay. You got it right.
John
Palmer
Goodman
is
the
not.
bayest.
He's not a terrorist. Palmer is not a terrorist. That's for sure. Jace says, I'm a terrible piece of shit. He didn't say that. This is shoddy reporting. Breaking news. I may have done that myself.
That's okay.
System says this is what you get for firing Mark Eaton, who was like the 25-year timekeeper.
Oh.
He was there forever.
He would have known.
So-
Did they have Money in the Bank back then?
Yeah, they've had Money in the Bank for like probably 7 or 8 years, I think.
That's not that long.
Pretty fucking long.
Not in the history of
You
wrestling.
can only do one thing with it.
Not in the history of wrestling.
It's pretty fucking long in the history of wrestling.
How long has wrestling been? 80 years, probably.
How long has it been around?
Yeah,
They used to do that in like in the Coliseum.
that wasn't real. Or that was real shit.
That wasn't real. All the Coliseum survivors are gonna go online and just be like, he said my shit wasn't real. You know what I mean? You're gonna be upset. System says that Gina is hot. And Gina says, I don't think that highly of myself. I just don't condone Sheamus hating. Which is fair. It's just fair. I can't tell anyone to love or
I don't
to
condone
hate.
Sheamus loving Gina. So what do you?
That sounds like a conversation you guys have to have off the air. Because I don't care to hear you guys talk about it. We've gone almost an hour on the main event.
It's all right. It was big news. We'll
It
fight
was
through the
big
rest
news.
of it.
So Sheamus is trying to cash in. Nobody has any idea what the Money in the Bank contract does. And then Kane comes out.
Kane with the mask.
This Kane.
The
Demon
Demon
Kane.
Kane with the fully healed ankle.
And as soon as he comes out, I go, oh, we're finally going to get payoff on that? Like, they've been doing this for like a year. It's finally time. D-Ray is back in the chat, and I'm glad he's here. He says, wasn't that the timekeeper that arrested for child porn or sex with a minor?
No, that was Jared Fogle.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So yeah, Kane comes out, and I think we're obviously going for Rollins Kane at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So that gets us out of the main event. But while we're talking about Hell in a Cell, we're getting Taker versus Lesnar in Hell in a Cell too. It just got announced in a Paul Heyman commercial. They're gonna market the shit out of this match. And the way they announce it is them going, all October is Brock Lesnar's Go to Hell tour. He's going to beat up the Big Show like a savage. He's going to be on Stone Cold's podcast. And then he's going to wrestle Undertaker in the Cell. Like, all October. That's how you announce that?
It was weird.
We just had Lesnar Taker at SummerSlam that was bigger than WrestleMania. And now the blow-off in the Cell is just like, and this is going to happen.
Right.
Taker didn't make a challenge. Lesnar didn't make a challenge. No one said once and for all, let's do it.
You came downstairs, and it was just like, oh, that's happening? Like,
and you were like, no, I think they were just saying, like, October is going to be Lesnar month on the network.
Yeah.
And then they started reiterating it. And I was like, oh, maybe they're going to replay the No Mercy 2002 Cell match, which is fantastic. That would make sense. They cap off, and then they're just like, and we just found out.
Yeah,
breaking news. And I was just like, no, they're just going to do that. Okay. Okay, that's just how we're going to handle that then. Like, what the fuck is that? Palmer says, no, that's Jared Fogle. Mark Eaton was clean. Same thing he said. Jay says, what's a Money in the Bank briefcase? What the fuck is an episode? System says, that was former ring announcer Mel Phillips. Damn it. System says, holy shit, artist.
What was that about?
And then they said the timing was ace. So they're probably talking about the
Jared
Fogle. But the thing is, you said that like 20 seconds before that hit the chat. Because we're ahead of them.
I know.
So like that's why when you guys type something and you think we're ignoring you, it's because you don't know where we are yet.
Right. I wish there wasn't such a delay, but that's life on the internet. What the fuck is the internet?
D-Ray says, sorry, I've been playing Madden 2010.
It's all right.
You know what's so funny? When Madden 08 came out, I went right to the store and bought Madden 07.
I think Vince Young was on Madden 08.
I don't know who that is. I know the name.
He's a piece of shit.
Is he?
No, he just wasn't very good. He was good enough to make the Madden cover, and then straight down the tube after that.
We've got 9 Dan Dans with us live in the chat right now. I want to ask all the Dan Dans nicely to click that like button, click that subscribe button, because we do 3 shows a week. We do this show every Monday after Raw, and we cover pay-per-views now. I didn't want to cover all the pay-per-views. I wanted to do the big 4.
Are we doing all of them?
We've been doing really well with our WWE content.
It's up to you.
I think we should.
I don't make the rules. I'm here against my will.
You don't even want to be here?
No, not at all.
Well, what's funny is I texted you like a week ago, and I was like, I feel like we should do a Night of Champions show. And you're like, well, if you want to.
I said, well, it was like Sting's wrestling, so that makes sense.
Jace says, Vince Young, 08, nailed it. Jace is a guy I really like. At Jace Plays Games on Twitter. I've been hanging out in his streams every once in a while. I haven't been up to date with him lately, but I still want to podcast with him. I want to hang out in his chats and his fucking tweets, streams. Everyone should do that.
Every time I see he's like a tweet, it's too late.
So Taker Lesnar, Hell in a Cell 2 in October.
At least it's not happening at Mania.
Our buddy Beer Walls, a.k.a. Beard Wells, is going to be there.
Cool.
I think.
Have fun.
I think that's what he said. So what's our B story tonight? Is our B story going to be the Divas, or is it going to be Wyatt, Reigns, Jeans, and Jericho?
I mean, not those. I didn't think either of those.
Let's talk about the thing that made me the most happiest of a boy tonight, and that is the fact that Kevin Owens is our new
That's what I was going to say.
Intercontinental Champion.
I was going to say New Day because I love the New Day.
Yeah.
Or him because he won the IC title. Title change is big. There's also Dean's title change. Anyways, let's talk about Kevin Owens, guys.
So this pay-per-view starts. We get the hype video, as we always do. You just dancing and looking at yourself? So you got to look at the camera. So you're looking.
I wasn't looking at anything. I was just dancing, and wherever my eyes laid, they laid, and I accepted it. Okay.
So we have the hype video tonight, and then we're right into the fucking action. The Intercontinental title match kicks the show off, and I thought that was a great decision. I thought Owens wrestled a very strategic and smart match against Ryback. You get Owens, who's a brawler, but is technically skilled, against a guy like Ryback, who was extremely limited technically. But if he gets a hold of you, goodbye. Because he's super strong.
He's a brute strength kind of guy.
So Owens goes out and immediately starts going for holds, takedowns. He's grabbing a leg, he's grabbing an arm, he's grabbing a headlock. It's a really smart strategy. And if you are one of those people who likes to watch wrestling and get yourself lost in it, like you are watching a real fight, this would have made a lot of sense.
It had good psychology.
Yeah, definitely.
As
great
they
use of the
like to
term.
say.
Yeah.
I learned that from listening to smart people talk.
My drink, it splashed and almost went up my nose.
I've had that happen. It's not fun.
One time I was eating runts and doing handstands. That's not a joke. I was like 8 years old. I was on the pool deck and I had a bag of runts and I just put a green one in my mouth and I started chewing it up. And I was like, I'm gonna do a handstand. Like I announced it. And I did a handstand and the candy in my mouth, like it was chewed up and broken. And the juice went up into my sinuses.
Oh!
And the fucking sugar started burning the shit out of my nose and it came out of my nose. So I dunked my head in the water and went and sucked a bunch of water up my nose to clear out my sinuses.
That's not a good idea.
But I learned at a very young age that when that happens to you, you can just inhale a little bit of water through your nose and clean out your sinus tract. That's a fact.
Use that pot of water that you could like put it in.
A neti pot?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Me neither.
My mom did some weird shit. It sounded like I said mama. My mama did some weird shit. She had this cone thing, and it was like wax. And she stuck it in her fucking ear hole and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
Like I came home from work and my mom is in the kitchen with her head on fire. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, this is gonna suck all the shit out of my ear. And I was like,
I've heard of that.
Like,
do you remember the infomercial for that thing where it's like shoots water in your ear and it gets all the junk out? And in the infomercial, the guy he touches.
No. But the way they do it is just like, are you tired of hurting yourself by trying to clean your ears alone? Picks up a Q-tip and he just touches it to his and goes, ow! like, I filmed that off the TV because it was so goddamn funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh boy. So Kevin Owens is a guy who likes to yell at his opponent in the ring. And it makes it really fun to watch his matches because someone will try something and he'll say a smart ass comment. You're like, oh man, he's so funny.
And he's fired up.
But he said one tonight that I thought was so stupid.
Yeah, what was that? I didn't write it down, but I
Ryback goes for a powerbomb and Kevin Owens back body drops him. And Kevin Owens goes, you think you can powerbomb me? Never! It was like, what are you, a 4-year-old?
I like that he yells, but there's time. That's not the first time that I've rolled my eyes.
That's something
he's yelled.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of anything right off the bat, but yeah, he sometimes I roll my eyes at what he
James Rohn or Ronnie or Hone or Hani. I don't know how to say your last name, James, but I'm glad you're here. If your name is James.
What?
Anyway, this new Dan says, where was Jon Stewart from tonight, shit? He's not around. He's not with the company anymore. He came by, he did his thing, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Palmer says, Ryback looks like the tanks from Left 4 Dead. Palmer quotes me, one time I was eating runts and doing handstands. We got System says, yeah, chlorine in your sinuses is way better.
He's a child.
D-Ray says it's called candling. He could be pulling my dick, bro.
I don't care. Candling's probably some
Candling sounds like the act of making candles.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was probably like some weird sex act. Some heathen sex act.
Breaking news! Shayla, a.k.a. Christian Galenza, has joined us.
I thought he killed himself.
I thought he killed himself. I killed myself too if my name was Combs. How many people remember what that is anymore? Jay says, holy shit, I remember that commercial. Q-tips are dangerous. Ow! So one of the problems I had, Ryback is not the greatest at selling. And there's a point in this match, Owens is working on the arm the whole time. Owens does a jumping arm breaker where he takes the arm, he jumps up, basically gives the arm the code breaker, and then Ryback sells it like he's fucking dead. Like, he took the arm breaker and was just like, where if your arm was hurt,
Right.
and a guy jumped up and did that to you, it wouldn't work in a real fight, so he wouldn't try it. But let's say you take that move and you're a wrestler. You would hit the ground and be like, ow, ow, fuck. Oh, my arm's fucked up. And then the ref would come over, are you okay? And you'd be kissing your arm trying to make it better. But, yeah, that was bad. Like, I remember one time in TNA, someone, like, threw a fireball in Jeff Hardy's face. And it, like, went in his face, and then he just, like, fell down dead. And I was like, that looks like shit. Like, wouldn't you be, like, holding your face, like, oh, it burns. Like, my eyes are burned out of my head. I look like the Nazi from Indiana Jones now.
Right.
Put a mask on me. In 20 years, you're going to find out they were psychological scars.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, if you get punched in the face, laying down dead is one thing, because it's like, oh, you got knocked
Yeah,
out.
you got KO'd.
But a
By
flame
KO.
doesn't knock you out.
Mm-mm. But the thing here is, we get to the result of the match, and System said earlier he missed this match because he had to poop. That's unfortunate, because this was a pretty good match.
Mhm.
I enjoyed this match. Kevin Owens
Good
basically dominates the whole thing,
Yep.
technically. Going for holds, he's doing this and that. He's meeting Ryback at every corner, turning things around on him every time Ryback thinks he's got a head of steam going. Ryback finally gets a hold of him, takes him up for the whatever that's called. What do you call his move?
I don't know.
Shell shock. And Ryback
Oh,
turns him
yes.
around, and Owens grabs his eyes and he rakes his eyes.
Because he's a bad guy.
And then he gets out, he goes for the roll up 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens is our new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
And I just wrote down, again, if you're one of those people who likes to look at wrestling and you judge every trait of it, Kevin Owens looks so fucking good coming out of this. And the whole internet will get mad. They're like, oh, bro, no clean finishes. I don't know. I don't get that. But he looks so good because he dominated Ryback the entire time.
Right.
And when working technically didn't work, as soon as he was just like, fuck it. He just scratched his eyes and won.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens did nothing wrong in this match.
Right.
Other than cheating. But
And that's
like
it's the same thing with Rollins, where Rollins looks impressive in his matches, but he's not going to risk losing, which is like the same thing like Kevin Owens did. By the way,
like he didn't want to wrestle Sting. He was just going to leave.
Right. But
Nah,
he
fuck
did
it.
win clean. He did. So we didn't talk about that, but I wanted to mention that.
Mhm.
So, but I just want to mention that. Never mind. Go back.
Steve Schneider, a.k.a. Folklin, texted me earlier. I don't know why he's not in the chat with us, but I'm sure
He's
he
at
is.
a friend's house
Oh, why didn't he tell me that?
because I just told him we were at a show. He didn't know we were doing a show, so the information that he was at his friend's house would be irrelevant to you. He didn't want to bog down your text messages.
So Owens is our new Intercontinental
I
Champion.
like it.
And I think
I like it. He's a good boy who's got a bright future.
let's talk about the New Day versus the Dudley Boys.
New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
We should just dance for 10
This is
minutes.
my favorite.
Shayla Galenza says, Badango. If we're going to talk about Dudley's and New Day, we need to talk about Rufio. Xavier Woods has cut and dyed his hair to look exactly like Rufio from the 1991 classic Hook. Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Hook. That's Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yep.
What a fucking awesome movie that
Julia
is.
Roberts was Tinkerbell.
Dude, Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell, underrated babe. Julia Roberts, that's
if there was any controversy about who he was,
that is Rufio, by the way, compared to Kofi's haircut.
I knew it right away too, because you showed me a photo on Twitter of him with his hair like that, and at first I was like, I've seen that hair. Oh, he's fucking Rufio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's got her pointy ears and everything.
Yeah, dude. Real quick, if we're just gonna talk, I don't know why that weird Barbie doll is
Because
there.
she's in a dollhouse.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Here, let me get one
And
where
she's the size of one.
she's not like a quarter of the size of the goddamn image. See, the problem is someone attached the word photos to it. Or if you just Google Julia Roberts Tinkerbell, you get actual good ones.
yeah.
There we go.
That was there.
Literally the second one. Oh, did I just go past it?
Mhm.
Okay. Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell, underrated babe. You know what I'm saying? Julia Roberts in general, underrated babe. She's got a severe case of babitosis. She's riddled with
She's
it.
contagious.
She's highly contagious.
Babatosis is not really contagious though.
She's got babatosis as she's walking down the street.
Yeah, I never disputed that.
This was a hard-hitting match, as you expect anytime the Dudley boys are in the ring
Oh
together.
yeah, they're tough men.
So
And they don't give shits.
someone needs to inscribe that on your tombstone when you're dead. They're tough men, ... line space, ... and they don't give shit.
No, but they should say it about me. The artist. He was a tough man and didn't give shit.
System says, meh.
You crazy motherfucker.
System doesn't know anything, though. He's
No.
just playing with fucking Snapple on a plate.
I'm filming it on YouTube and it.
That's rude.
It's alright.
So we got a hard-hitting match here between the Dudleys and the New Day. We had a lot of interaction with the trombone.
Yeah, it was good though. This
It
was,
was.
this was a good appearance for the trombone.
The fans are liking the trombone as well.
What was he doing like when they were stomping on him?
Bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum. And then they tag out, bum, 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 bum.
That was so good.
And he did the victory song again tonight. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. So good.
Which it's from Final Fantasy?
Yes.
Okay. I've never played those, so
I didn't either.
I didn't
Jace, I have never played a Final Fantasy game in my life. Is that a sin to you?
I played Final Fantasy Tactics
Yeah.
on the Game Boy Advance.
Well, you've never played a Zelda game in your life either.
That's not true.
Which one did you play?
I played the Game Boy one.
Link's Awakening?
I think so. That might be the only one I've played like all the way through, but I've fucked with other ones.
You fucks with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the tag match. Let's talk about the end of the tag match. First of all, JBL says at one point that no one's ever gotten out of that 3D. I don't know what the fuck that means.
You know, it's not a submission.
It's not a submission.
What are you saying?
The 3D, though, is easily one of the most protected finishers in the history of wrestling.
Like nobody kicks out of it?
There's been like one time someone's kicked out of it. And I think it was like Balls Mahoney or something. It was an ECW. I think it was like the Dudleys versus Spike and Balls Mahoney.
Yeah.
But I think they hit Balls with a 3D and he kicked out. I just miss the spectacle of a Balls Mahoney match when he would hit guys with a jab. It was just like balls, balls, balls. It was so much
Wait,
fun.
before what was the New Day's gimmick at the beginning of the match? What did they sing? Oh, they did the State Farm song. Like they're
Yeah.
talking about Jake
Like a-
from State Farm signed their petition.
Yeah, but what they said didn't make any sense.
like
Like a good table, the New Day is here. Like
doesn't make any fucking sense.
it's like
It
a
just
good
fit the
table
song.
is always there. You know, maybe it makes a lot more sense than I thought it did. Like this is a good table. Every time we do this show, this table's here. And ever since we moved the monitor back, the computer back a little bit, we've been using another table back there. We're giving away backstage behind the curtain
I
secrets.
think we already talked
That's
about
a good table. That table over
Both
there
good
is the one we do
tables.
the podcast on. You got an unruly eyebrow here.
that. Help me out, brother.
Barber? It's gone. I don't. No, here it is. I got it. Here, eat it. I'm gonna put it on your cheek. It grew in. I'm just playing.
I sucked it in.
So Christian says no tape, or Christian says table match at Hell in a Cell. Clearly,
Yeah.
that's where we're going. But are we gonna do? Are the Dudleys gonna have a third person, or is it gonna be 2-on-3? If it's a third person, is it gonna be Spike?
Who's Spike?
Spike Dudley? You don't know Spike Dudley? This is what happens when you become a fan in 2012.
I didn't know that. I had no idea there was a third Dudley.
You don't even know little Spike Dudley?
Nope.
You don't know Big Dick Dudley? You don't know Sign Guy Dudley? Do you know what the Dudleys are? Like
Aren't they like hillbilly
they're
brothers?
fucking like inbred drug babies.
Yeah.
Big Dick Dudley was the dad.
Wait, was that his name?
Yeah.
That was- Oh, how did they? Oh, that's so funny.
Anyone who wants to type out a history of the Dudley boys in the chat, I'm going to have the artist read it out loud on this episode because I think that'll be great. Jace says no Final Fantasy is a sin. Let's be the fuck honest now. For a long time, I've been meaning to buy Final Fantasy VII as a PS1 classic and play it in my Vita. That is a thing that's going to happen, but it's not going to happen soon because I'm almost done with The Witcher. I got to play Mad Max. I got to play Until Dawn. We got Fallout coming. You're telling me great things about Metal Gear 5. Like,
Yeah, talk about sins. Metal Gear 5 is the first Metal Gear I've ever played.
yeah, you need to get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. You got to get the fuck.
What are you
Out
gonna
of my
do
face.
about it? What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna tip your chair over.
Nothing.
Remember when I tipped your chair over at the end of that one Raw Talks and I broke the lamp?
Oh yeah,
And you were like, you knew that was gonna happen. And I was like, yeah, but it was funny. It was a great way to end the show.
it's your house.
I broke
just
everything
live
in
in
it. Palmer says, one time at a local New York indie, Balls Mahoney was running around backstage. He was running from a Girl Scout screaming, she's gonna kill me. I don't want any Thin Mints. Is that a true story? I don't think Palmer is much of a liar. He can be a bit brash sometimes, but I don't think he's a liar. Where'd you hear that story, Palmer? I need to have it on high authority that this is real. Jay says they are protecting tables. Good tables will always be there when you need it. But they're not protecting tables because after this match is over, which the New Day won, because they hit the 3D, which no one ever gets out of, or the New Day lost by DQ.
Yeah.
The Dudleys hit the 3D, which no one has ever gets out of. Xavier gets in the ring. 1, 2, and Xavier breaks up the
He
pin.
kicks them in the head.
So there's a disqualification. The New Day still have the tag team titles. What I say they are not protecting tables for is Big E pushes him and says, Woods, get the table.
Get the table.
Tell me what happened after that.
Well, they were gonna break their own code. Although I thought maybe they were gonna do something
Mhm.
funny about it. They get the tables, set it up, gonna get ready to give the Dudleys a damage thing. They're gonna damage the Dudleys through the table, but then the Dudleys get up, punch the New Day a bunch, and then 3D Xavier Woods to the table. Save the tables has been a colossal failure, unfortunately.
Now, I want to tell you something. Palmer, don't read it yet and spoil it. Palmer
I started to read it.
has listed Dudley Boys
I've only read like 3 of them though.
in the chat. And just let me read them. Don't look at them. These are all real
Okay.
Dudleys.
I did see some.
The
of them.
first one is Dudley Dudley.
Okay. That's a great name.
Then
All right,
Big Dick Dudley.
All right.
Then Little Snot Dudley.
All right.
Then Dances with Dudley. Bubba Ray Dudley.
All right. I know him.
Chubby Dudley. Sign Guy Dudley. Devon Dudley.
Okay, I know that guy.
Studley Dudley. And Little Spike Dudley.
Are they like the fucking like dwarves? The 7 dwarves?
No, but there is a very big Seven Dwarves reference in The Witcher 3 that I was playing last night. Like, remember Borderlands, how there was the guys who were clearly the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Like, they do the same thing, but like with the 7 dwarves, but they're actual dwarves. But they just like, one of them is narcoleptic, so he's like the
Nice.
sleepy one. There's the clumsy one. He's like, you need to go save him. And he like climbed up on top of this like 40-foot rock because there was these like witches below him. And so you kill the witches, and you're like, all right, come down from there. He's like, oh, I'm so glad you came. Whoa! And he breaks his neck and falls off the thing. It was so funny. But Palmer does indeed confirm that Balls Mahoney is a true story because he was there live. Jace says there is no proof that they were going to break the table. You can assume what you want. Jace, I think you're missing the point.
They didn't
The
protect
New
it.
Day
They put the table in danger by getting it in the ring with the Dudleys.
and the New Day are bad guys. Like, they don't actually want to save the tables. They just don't want to go through tables. So they've started this whole false movement about save the tables just so maybe they can convince the Dudleys not to put them through tables. That's what this whole thing is about. Christian says that apron spot with Big E and Bubba Ray, though. Big time. Explain it.
The apron spot with
When Big E drapes a guy over the apron.
and Biggie like comes down on him, does like a splash on top of him. I always think he's gonna break the guy's neck.
And he almost did tonight.
I don't like it because like if he rolls like off, crack, and he's so heavy,
Yeah.
my neck would break. I got a girl neck.
You got a girl
No,
neck?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It doesn't look like a girl neck. I've never seen a girl with hair on her neck like this.
You ever been to the circus?
I have been to the circus.
I've never been to the circus. Fuck the circus.
You've never been to the circus?
Never, not once. My mom said, "You want to go to the circus?" I was like, "Nah, I'm too cool. I'm doing other shit."
What were you doing?
I don't know.
But it was cool.
That never happened.
I didn't think so.
I'm lying. I lie.
So the New Day keep the tag titles. They lose by disqualification.
Yeah, but who cares?
but they keep the
Xavier
tag
goes
titles.
to the table. Well deserved.
Charlotte Flair
Charlotte
is going to
Flair
take on Nikki Bella,
wrestling Nikki Bella.
who is the longest reigning
Nikki Bella.
WWE Divas Champion
Yeah.
of all time. What do you think about this match?
I was ordering pizza, so I didn't pay a lot of attention.
It was good pizza.
But it was really good. It was. You said it was like Ninja Turtle pizza.
It looked a lot like Ninja Turtle pizza.
Yeah.
It had like white oozy cheese. It was thin and floppy. It was good.
It was good. It's good stuff. But what I saw was okay. It wasn't bad.
Known as Pizza in Illinois. If you're Chicago Dan, 239-4200, I believe is their phone number.
If you live in the city of Chicago, they probably won't
The
deliver
shitty?
there. But
You realize you said the shitty of Chicago?
shitty. I got it lisp, but it's all right.
So Charlotte tweaks her knee at one point. It's clearly bullshit.
Does it work?
Yeah, exactly. It was for the match. Like she like goes out on the ring or whatever,
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh, fuck, my
okay.
knee."
I was taking a piss or a shit at this. during
You're
this match.
ordering pizza. You're taking shits.
I had a lot to do there in this match. I'm sorry. And I was on Twitter while I was peeing, and I saw Brett Wells, aka Beard Wells.
Checking your Twitter.
Yeah.
You got your phone in one hand, your dick in the other.
Yeah. And Wells was like, "Oh, I think her leg is really broken. This isn't good." And then I come out, and Nikki has her leg like cranked in like the weirdest. It's like, oh yeah, obviously that's really a real injury.
Well, there was so many people online who were just like, "Oh man, I think Charlotte hurt her leg."
Yeah,
Like,
I was.
No, she didn't.
And
have you ever watched wrestling before?
It was like it was so funny because I wasn't watching. So when I was seeing that on Twitter, I was like, oh fuck, that sucks that Charlotte got hurt. And then I come out and it's like the most comical. Did I spit? I'm sorry, I'm working. But it was like the most comical thing. It's like just like dumb people. I don't know.
I don't think they're dumb.
No, they're not
I
dumb.
think
I didn't mean
Charlotte is very good at selling,
Right.
and the way she sold it, she kind of had a look on her face, not like, "Oh no, this is gonna hurt my chances to win the title." She made a face that was just like, "Oh fuck,"
Right.
like, "Shit." Like it
like
looked
a real
convincing,
sell. Like
but that just means she's good at what she
Yeah.
does. The exact opposite of that, her being good at what she does, is D-Ray coming in saying Charlotte is the worst. D-Ray
Palmer is saying it. I saw other people on Twitter saying Charlotte's really bad. I've not heard this.
I don't think she's bad. I think
either.
she's good. Like her best matches are also with divas who are better than her,
so.
which is like that doesn't mean she's bad. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's had good matches with girls who are not the best in the world. I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte's good. Palmer says Chicago is shitty, and he's not wrong. The gun violence in this city is unbelievable.
Oh, I thought he said Charlotte is shitty. That's what I.
No, he says Chicago.
Oh,
is
then
shitty.
never mind.
Yeah, Palmer didn't say
I
Charlotte
thought-
is shitty.
That's why I said Palmer said it. So
Steve Schneider,
Sorry,
a.k.a. Folkelson, the man who nearly died at Riot Fest, is in the room. You can listen to his full story about him nearly dying at Riot Fest
salute you.
on youtube.com/616entertainment, on the podcast, on iTunes, on SoundCloud. What's funny is before we went live, I got a notification on my phone from a system that said, I think the iTunes or the podcast is on iTunes now. I've been there a little while.
Who did he said? That
I don't
to
know.
you?
It was just YouTube came up and said that. And it said like Adam DeVries, I think the podcast is system. Who are you talking to?
Did he say that on Twitter?
No, YouTube said it on my phone.
So he made a comment on you. Like I
He
don't
made a
understand
comment somewhere
why YouTube told you. Like what was he?
because I get
where did he say that
notifications. YouTube 1 hour ago. I think the podcast is on iTunes now.
Maybe it was a reply to somebody.
I don't know. But so we got this match with Nikki and Charlotte. Everyone thinks the knee is real. The knee ain't real. And then what I wrote down for this was better get a clean finish or the internet will explode. Because I kept seeing tweets all night that were just like, 2 matches, 2 dirty finishes.
It's wrestling!
3 matches, 2 dirty finishes. And it's like, who fucking cares,
Like,
man?
dude, I don't get it. Like when did that become?
This episode of Dexter sucked because he had to chase the guy down. He didn't wrap him to the table. It wasn't a clean finish. Bad Dexter. You know what I mean?
I just like when I was a kid. Like I didn't watch wrestling when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but when I did, it was always bullshit finishes. That's what wrestling is.
Yeah. The internet doesn't like wrestling.
It's cheated. Like there's
That's the thing. We talked about this earlier. Wrestling fans don't like wrestling. System says it was a joke because it was plastered all over the screen. I know where he's coming from. Because I changed the logo for the podcast. Because our old logo just said 616 Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But if you Google that, we don't come up. You want to know why? Because that's not the name of the fucking show. It's the 616 Entertainment Podcast. So us being on iTunes now, I couldn't just have that image that says that because if people go to iTunes, search it, they won't find us.
Gotcha.
So now it says 616 Entertainment Podcast.
I understand.
And for people to know it's on iTunes, there's like 5 things on this side that says now on iTunes, and then the same on the other side. So it's just bookend by ear fucking you with the fact that we are now on iTunes.
You gotta know. You gotta make the people know.
We made the people know. So we need a clean finish or the internet is going to explode. We'll just go quick through this match because we're going long already tonight.
It's really long.
Nikki attacks the leg the whole time. The fucked up leg. She's twisting it. She's pulling on it. She puts the figure 4 on in the corner. And Charlotte goes, my knee! And then Michael Cole goes, guys, did you hear it? She said, my knee? Like, I'm not even kidding. Michael Cole said that. So, her leg is fucked up. She can barely walk. How does she win? She puts her legs on the ground and presses all of her weight and her opponent's weight into the fucking air with the leg that has been beat up for the entire fucking match. So what did we just do?
I don't know.
What?
We talked about good ring psychology. That wasn't good psychology.
No. But I'm surprised the internet after that match didn't go, I think Nikki might have really hurt her knee in that figure 4. She tapped out, guys. It must have really been painful. I'm being rough on the internet tonight, but you know what? The internet deserves it.
What the fuck is the internet?
Let's get Ziggler versus Rusev out of the way.
Okay.
Because Palmer on 616 Entertainment.proboards.com, which is a message board you don't have to join because it's basically a pile of shit. He goes on there and he puts like, 2 matches, 2 bad matches or something like that. And I quote him and I go, Palmer doesn't like the current product? Shocker. And then he said something about Ziggler and Rusev. And I go, yeah, I watched Ziggler versus Rusev and I have a lot of things to say about it. None of which are positive. So I wasn't just burying Palmer. I was just making a joke because he always complains about wrestling, which is fine. He has a right to do that. But this feud, it's Ziggler-Rusev, has lost, with Lana being gone, has not only lost every bit of steam that it had, but like I'm to the point where I'm so over it that I don't even fucking care.
No, like with Lana, I felt like it had already started to go on too long.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Lana's not there, it's like what is the point of this?
This match wasn't even that long and it was too long.
Yeah. I don't know.
So Dolph give on Raw. Steve says, nobody replies to me ever.
Gina was here. I don't think she's here anymore. You're not too late. Hi, Steve. I've replied to every one of your chats. All right? Stop bitching.
Palmer says that Steve scared Gina away. But so Ziggler on Raw gives Summer the fucking earrings. And then on SmackDown, they talk about Summer's just like, well, this was a pretty extensive piece offering. And Ziggler was just like, sometimes a rose is just a rose, but sometimes it's more. And then Summer's just like, what does that mean? So this guy goes backstage to Rusev, and he goes, excuse me, Rusev. And Rusev goes, no! Which was unequivocally the best part of this pay-per-view. No doubt. I want a looping clip. Excuse me, Rusev. No! It's the best part.
You don't want to talk
He has no time for your bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck this. I don't want to talk to anyone. But so the guy asked Summer before she walks away, are those the earrings? I said this to Ziggler's. Are those the earrings that Dolph bought you? And she's like, and walks away. During this match, Michael Cole just goes, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but Summer keeps touching those earrings.
Whoa.
So obviously they're the earrings, but Michael Cole has to go out of his way to go, guys, I don't know if you know, but I gotta tell you, I'm pretty observational. I think those are the earrings.
But he didn't even say that.
But the best part is he goes, guys, I don't know if you know, but she keeps touching him. And then no one else said anything. JBL just wasn't like, Michael, you might be right. Those might be the earrings that Dolph bought her. What does that mean? Is she starting to develop real feelings for Dolph? And King could have just been like, oh, you guys are crazy. Michael Cole goes out of his way to bring this up, and then they're just like, hip toss. No one went for it at all.
It was shit.
This match sucked.
It was not good. It was the worst match they had.
I love Ziggler. I love Rusev.
I don't think they have great chemistry.
They have bad chemistry.
Like, their other matches haven't really been good.
They have bad chemistry.
And like the finish of this was so fucking stupid.
How many fucks are you throwing there, angry video game nerd?
Ass.
I don't think Ziggler landed a single move in this match that wasn't a reversal. Every time Ziggler landed anything, it was because Rusev was going for a thing and then Ziggler got him. But so I guess you can kind of look at it and spin it and be like, oh, Dolph is faster, so he's counterpunching. He's letting Rusev come in with his momentum and trying to turn it against him.
Right.
But it just looked dumb. I wrote down in all caps, so many reversals. At least 3 times, Rusev picked Ziggler up for a scoop slam, and Ziggler just went over his shoulder, landed behind him, either kicked the knee, kicked him in the ass, and they don't have good chemistry. Ziggler lands some move, and it's a 1-2 kick out, and Rusev is celebrating, and then the ref is just like, "You didn't win; it was a 2."
That was so dumb.
And Rusev is like, "Raise my hand because I won." It's like, you didn't win; it was a 2. And then instead of Rusev being like, "Well, fuck you because you're bad at your job. Fuck the tomorrow," and then he goes and kicks Ziggler in the head. He walks over to the ropes and starts going like, "No, why?" And he goes over to this one, "Why?" And then he kicks the bottom rope and he looks at the crowd like this, and it's like, and now we just turn into a fucking cartoon.
Right.
I have nothing good to say.
No, it was not good.
I love both of these guys. I hate shitting on wrestling. I don't have anything good to say about this match. And there was 19 super kicks in this match.
And I know I mentioned the finish, but he gets hit with the shoe, and he's like, and then Michael Cole said something really fucking weird. He's like, "Oh, that gives a whole new meaning to the word heel in wrestling."
Yeah.
That was weird to me because I've never really heard anybody use heel.
Sometimes they do, but it's always pretty tongue-in-cheek. Usually it's a guy like Triple H who can get away with using insider terms, but I don't know.
But anyways, moving on. I don't want to talk about this.
System says Rusev jobbed to his shoe.
Yeah, well, the shoe buried him.
The shoe buried Rusev.
Rusev got buried by a shoe tonight. Thank you very much.
It looks like the last match that we have to talk about for the night is the Wyatts versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Jericho. So here's what I have to say about this match: it's a mystery partner. The first thing that happens leading into this, Randy Orton comes out and they fuck Randy Orton up and they put him to sleep. He's the first guy that they attack.
Yeah, not tonight.
A couple 2 weeks ago or whatever that was, I'm just like, clearly Orton is the guy. He doesn't have anything going on right now. They fucked him up, so it's going to be Orton. But then they fuck up somebody else, and then they fuck up somebody else. So it's just like, oh, so anyone who could possibly do it is
going
gone
after him.
But so Randy's got to be healthy by now, right? It's clearly going to be Randy. Or there's rumors going around it was going to be Baron Corbin from NXT, which doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's never stopped him before. Right. So we get to the match tonight. Dean Ambrose music hits. Roman's hits. And how's it sound? It sounds like Dano. Bano, Dano, Dano, Bano, Dano, Dano. It's a good song. Yeah. So Roman comes down, and it's like, it's time to reveal the mystery partner. There's not a lot of times in wrestling where there's a mystery partner or a mystery opponent where you don't know who it's going to be as soon as they announce it. It's like, oh, it's going to be that guy. It's going to be Orton.
Yeah.
They really got us tonight.
I didn't know who it was.
They really got us.
And I never expected who it was.
Because it's Roman in the ring. Dean is in the ring, and it's like, here we go. And then they reveal it, and it's just like, holy shit, their partner is just some fucking guy. They're standing there, and then this dude just walks up like...
And it was so shocking because you didn't even see him come in.
No, it was perfect.
How did he even get there?
And then the security and the referees jump in the ring, and they tackle the guy. And that's when we found out that wasn't their partner. That was just some guy who was never supposed to be in the ring. And then all of a sudden we hear, wow, 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 wow. That's my impression of the Jericho countdown. What's so funny is you've only been a fan since 2012.
Right.
You don't have everyone's theme music memorized. So you hear vroom, 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 and I go, oh shit! And I look over at you and you're just like, and I go, it's Jericho, and you're like, oh nice. Palmer says I have a spot-on impression of the
Reigns theme.
theme. Should we give it to him one more time?
Dano, Bano, Dano,
Bano, Dano, Dano, Bano. That's a great, like Dan Dance. I think everyone, we should all just do it now. We've done hashtag 616 disco. Now we need to do hashtag 616 Dano Bano. And the way you do that is you get tattooed on your right hand D-A-N-O on your knuckles. And on your left hand, you get B-A-N-O. So then anytime you see another Dan in public, you don't say anything to each other. You just go, and everyone knows that you're Dano Bano.
I don't like it. I'm not going to do that.
All right, scrap that. Scrap that idea.
Steve says, Go to Hell tour should be called Brocktober. We already have a Brocktober. Brocktober is our thing.
It's all about Brock Piper.
Yeah.
The Mandarin Grizzly Brock Piper.
Yes.
Who, if everything goes according to plan, and D-Ray's not going to want to hear this, but the big money fight is No Taxes Nigel Bravo versus Brock Piper, the only two undefeated competitors in 616 Entertainment Monopoly Kingdom. Stop picking your nails live in the air.
I got dirt.
Then you don't do that on the air. Do it later. But D-Ray says it was Michael Cole who tackled the guy. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Michael Cole. I saw you tweet that, but that's not who that was. After you tweeted that, I looked for a GIF and I found it. I'm like, is that Michael Cole? Or that ain't Michael Cole. How do you think Michael Cole got up before the security guys? And he, like, that would, even if he had the chance, why would he just be like, oh, I need to get him?
If Michael Cole saw a fan get in the ring and just snapped into action and got him out of there, that would be the best thing in the world.
It would make me real happy. I gotta tell you
I
that
would
right
be
now.
the biggest Michael Cole fan in the world if he did that.
Dan is, while we're still here, while we're still live, and while everyone is with you, and while Christian is incessantly plugging his Instagram, which is clearly the only reason he came back to begin with, click that like button, click that subscribe button. We do this all the time, where you're going to want to hear the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about this fucking match. Jericho is the mystery partner. I think that was actually a good choice. It was fun.
You didn't see it coming.
No, I definitely did see it
No,
coming.
sure.
You didn't, because you don't even know what his music is. The system says I need to educate you more. No, I don't. You'll do whatever you want anyway. You're like Zach Galifianakis.
It's not fun when it's so hot.
This was, other than Cena and Rollins, this was the best match of the night. I actually thought this was a pretty damn good match.
I agree. I
thought this was a really good match. I had a couple issues with it. I'm going to get my negatives out of the way first.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt goes for his rock bottom gimmick. Where
there's a couple.
Dean
times.
comes in, Bray grabs him, he picks him up, and then just like puts him down. And then Dean's just like, bam. It's like, what the fuck was that?
Well, yeah, why? What made him put him down?
And then
Maybe he had like lead in his pockets. It's like he's too heavy.
No. But then there's another point where Luke Harper and Roman are in the ring. Luke Harper comes at him. Roman picks him up for a Samoan drop. And then he puts him down and punches him. And then he picks him up for a Samoan drop and he gives him a Samoan drop. What the fuck was that? I feel like I've seen him do that before.
Yeah, there were a lot of times in this match where you're like, what the fuck was that?
D-Ray says I need to check my Facebook because he sent me a video. And it's not going to be a video. I don't think so.
I must have smelled your breath or something.
Smell it. Tell me if it stinks.
I will never smell your breath.
Smell
Instead,
it.
I will just put on this hat.
Smell it. Do I have pizza breath?
No,
I don't know what you were smelling.
you burped. It was your acid and bile.
You're using a lot of disgusting words right now. D-Ray did indeed. Ew. He sent me a video that says Roman Reigns theme with lyrics. So let's get this up.
Roman Reigns, the God with It's Roman Reigns, the guy who has lots of sex. Roman Reigns, the guy with the wettest hair. Roman Reigns, the guy who just doesn't care. Roman Reigns, the guy with a lot of class. Roman Reigns, the guy who will kick your ass.
I gotta tell you, I like my version better.
Oh, I like it way better.
Oh my goodness gracious! What a cherry on top. I think we had a missed opportunity with Strowman here. Move your elbow. It's fucking so close to my face.
Deal with it.
If you're like, no, I'm not gonna fucking deal with it. Palmer says I turn away for literally 2 seconds and the artist found a glittery hat. What's funny about this hat, number one, is that it's dusty. Not Rhodes. Number two is that Sal Melendez wore this hat on Top 5 Weird Animals and just left it here. Because I've said this before, Sal comes over, he does the show, gets almost completely naked and just fucking leaves. So I have almost all of his gear still here. And if the Danans have not watched Top 5 Batman with Sal Melendez just yet, please do. There's a lot of people out there who are saying it's the best episode of Top 5 of all time. And I'm not just blowing smoke up in the air and in the asses, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Yeah, I like the Wyatt Jeans Roman
I do too.
Jericho match.
When I first started watching wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
the WWE, WWE, we went to Raw with Andy Jerick.
Andy Jericho, rough and tumble bad boy, never takes no for an answer, doesn't play by his own rules.
And the Shield versus the Wyatts
Mm-hmm.
was there, and that was like the best match of that night.
It was very fun.
And every time those three, the original Wyatts and the original Shield,
Mm-hmm.
had a match, they tore the fucking house down. So to have like this variation is awesome to see that back again. It's not the same, but they're still like the majority of the chemistry there is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it.
The missed opportunity I think they had with Strowman tonight was, again, to credit Palmer, I think he wrote this on the board, which I thought was a great idea. It was either Palmer or Ricky said, I hope the mystery guy is Orton, just so he can RKO Strowman, and then Strowman just gets
They
the
could
fuck
do
up.
that later.
Yeah, but they had the best opportunity tonight where Roman hits the spear. Strowman should have just got right the fuck up. It's been like, what, bitch?
I thought he did, because like
It looked like, because he hit the ground and he sat up, but then he just like fell over on this side. But yeah, I like that could have been handled a little bit better. It felt lazy, like what they ended up doing with the finish. Like Roman had Strowman in a bad spot, and then Jericho's just like, my turn.
right.
Tags himself in, lion salt or something. Strowman kicks out. He throws Jericho way up in the air. He picks him up for like the pancake thing from the powerbomb position, but then he picks him back up and puts him in the standing arm triangle. It took too fucking long. That powerbomb move and then pancake him, get rid of that. That shouldn't be in his arsenal. His whole thing should just be about like, how do you fight this guy? You need to hit him. But if you're close enough to hit him, he's close enough to grab you and put you in the arm triangle, you know?
Right.
So the referee then fucks up the finish completely. He gets him in the standing arm triangle, and Jericho's like, oh no, oh fuck. And he's asleep. And the ref is just like,
He didn't finish. He didn't stop it.
and then Jericho
It's like,
has to be like, he has to wake up.
yeah. And he
Try
was,
to
you
get-
could tell like his hand was, he was like,
He was
really
doing that
going.
to get the ref's attention, to
Right.
be like, I'm here now.
Right.
Watch, when I die, you need to
Mhm.
stop the match. He dies again, and the referee stops the match. Completely ruined that for me. Jericho went to sleep, and they've been like in wrestling. Usually, when a guy goes to sleep, they have to do the 3-arm lift
Mhm.
to find out if he's out cold or not,
He didn't do it
which
for
is
him.
fucking hilarious. That you need to raise, if it falls 3 times, he's out. But if it falls 2.5, but he wakes up, wrestling is so stupid. But yeah, like the referee fucked that up. That was pretty dumb. But I thought this match was pretty good.
I liked it.
We're gonna hit the chat real quick. Steve Schneider, aka Flokelson, says nudity makes me uncomfortable, which is ironic because I have a bunch of footage on this very phone of him walking around my house completely naked over the last weekend. but I can't show it anywhere.
Out of all my friends, I've seen his dick the most.
Yeah.
Second, probably Corey Fisher.
He's got a funny dick.
He's got his sack, his ball sack is like 6 inches.
It's huge.
His ball tank's so low.
The best is when you were in the bathroom and you opened the door and you expected his butt to be there, but instead he had grabbed the base of his dick and was spinning it around in a circle like a helicopter.
Oh my God.
And he was trying to say, like, what's it gonna be, boys?
And he just
But he thought it was so funny. You open the door, see him spinning his dick, and he's just like, and I'm in the other room just crying, laughing. Palmer says he thinks Top 5 Monsters was better than Top 5 Batman, but that's just because he has a John Goodman crush. John Goodman's in Top 5 Batman. You must have not watched the whole thing. System says, so was my brother. But, like we said before, this is behind, so we don't know what he was talking about. D-Ray says, I like the one-arm drop. It's over. We do that UGW because it's more realistic, like MMA. If you're out, then the ref should stop the match. Exactly. D-Ray is a smart man. That's why he's a Dan. That's why I love that boy. He's got a great haircut, and he's challenging Nigel Bravo on September 26th, which will be live streamed on this channel for the 616 Monopoly Kingdom World Championship. I got to tell you, D-Ray's been training really hard.
Yeah.
I think he's got a pretty good fucking shot.
I am so excited for this match.
What I'm going to have to do right now, can you talk to the chat real quick while I bring up D-Ray's training video?
Yeah. Steve said that you have me nude on your phone. N-word, you gay.
N-word? What does that mean?
You know what it means. And he said it. Just look up. I'm not going to say it live. I'm not going to say it live.
You have before.
Yeah, but, you know, I talked about this.
Yeah.
I said about myself. So who can get upset about that?
Yeah. As you were.
Here's the thing about nudes on your phone. You probably have this because I have it. Like I have a setting that does not allow me to delete nude pictures off my phone because you should never delete nude pictures.
I agree.
And I would delete because I don't like naked men on my phone. But when Steve sends me a picture of his dick, I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it. I've never asked to see it.
I did. When he was talking about his piercing, I was like, I gotta see this fucking thing.
Well,
and he's like, for real? It's on the last podcast.
I didn't have to ask.
But you would
He just
have.
pulled it out.
Yeah. So while we were talking about Monopoly and we're talking about the fact that D-Ray is challenging on September 26th, he's not alone because Nigel Bravo will be defending against D-Ray, against Amanda Levine, and against the #1 handsome boy, Michael Thomas Robinson. This is easily the most star-studded Monopoly game we've ever had. I'm not competing. I'm not competing anymore in general. Neither is the artist. He's a special bank boy with a banker's body.
I've been training months and months, and I think I'm finally ready. Are you willing to accept the challenge, Nigel? Mr. No Taxes Bravo. I'm going for the 616 Entertainment Monopoly World Championship. I'm ready to take over this kingdom, and you, sir, will be finally defeated. Your streak will be ended, and I will take that crown from you. Nigel Bravo, are you man enough to accept my challenge finally?
So that was big news when we got that.
I love that his workout food is licorice.
Yeah. Well, what do you think it would be?
Red vines.
Dan, as we're gonna wrap up the show here in a minute. If there's anything you want us to talk about not wrestling related, feel free to throw it in the chat right now, and we'll hit it before we get out of here. But the thing is, that's not the only video we've received
To be
recently.
fair, you got to play them all.
No Taxes Nigel Bravo has an advocate by the name of Frank the Tank. And I received a video last night of Nigel Bravo's advocate, the 616 Monopoly World Champion, putting out a pretty harsh warning to all the opponents for this upcoming Saturday's match. You want to see this?
Yeah.
It's pretty harsh, just so you know. Here's Frank the Tank speaking on behalf of Nigel Bravo.
You shit talkers saying that you could beat Nigel Bravo in Monopoly have another thing coming. D-Ray, Amanda, Robinson, you have no idea what the fuck you're getting yourself into. First of all, anyone saying that he cheats is a fucking moron. If you're not paying attention to your properties on the board, they do not have to pay you. That is squatters' rights. That is in the fucking rule book. And secondly, fuck yourself. You're gonna lose. Don't even try. Donald Trump, fuck you.
Don't even try Donald Trump. Fuck you. I think we've got a phenomenon here with the 616 Entertainment Monopoly Kingdom. You know what I mean? This is not like something like this. Our title is more prestigious, as you said earlier
On Twitter,
than the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I think that goes without saying.
without a doubt.
I mean, Nigel Bravo is 6-0. He's got 5 title defenses in a row. He's had the title. Are you ready to get floored? I did the math.
I don't want to know.
He's had the title for almost 9 months.
Oh, that's so
The era of destruction is almost a year long at this point. You're saying it can't happen, but we just saw fucking Nikki Bella become the top Divas champion of all time. Is Nigel Bravo going to cement his legacy as the greatest Monopoly player in the history of the world?
Only time will tell.
I mean, 6-0 is pretty impressive. Like, Daniel put up a challenge. I don't like the guy. He lost.
What are you gonna say?
That's an old Jackass quote, which is one of my favorites. They were doing the stilt boxing, Dunn versus Steve-O, and they get to Pontius, and he goes, you know, Dunn, I don't like the guy. And you think he starts with the negative because he's going to be like, but he put up a good fight, and I think he took it. But Pontius goes, you know, Dunn, I don't like the guy. He lost. That's just one of the smallest, funniest things that I've always kept from that show. And I finally had a chance to use it. D-Ray says the Donald Trump line has me a little shaken, not going to lie. Ooh.
When do you think we're gonna get promo videos from Michael Thomas Robinson and Amanda Levine? If you're watching.
Those two, I'm not certain. But
What are you trying to do? A thing?
no, you had a hair in your finger, and I took it out.
If you guys are watching, you guys need to get involved in this. You're just gonna stand idly by while these people talk shit all over your faces?
Well, you know what? I'm not supposed to show anyone this because it was sent to me on lower terms, but I received a video from the Monopoly World Champion, Nigel Bravo. And I didn't know if I was supposed to take it seriously or if he's just, you know, this is what he does in his downtime, but there's more to this that's going to come out in coming days. But this
I haven't even seen this.
This is a little teaser of what's to come.
I have
You
not
haven't
even
seen
seen
this.
this. I'm so excited.
It's on the toilet. What's my
Not only do I accept the challenge of D-Ray, but I accept Michael Thomas Robinson's challenge. I'm going to fuck up that number one handsome boy. And Corey Fisher, you may be cute, but you're not cute enough to beat Nigel the Destroyer. I destroy dreams. Oh, man, I got to drink more beer. I also, Brock, fuck you. Brett Wells, you're an Ohio son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm not even worried about you. Steve Schneider, you blew your title shot. You decided to get trampled at Riot Fest. Too bad. This is the 616 Monopoly World Champion. And I'm not going to die anytime soon. I'm going to be the best forever. But if someone thinks they can beat me, I accept the challenge. Because I'm not a pussy. I rock and roll. Just like me. wipe. Get out of here, man.
You know what's funny is I didn't see the rest of that. The only part I saw was him going it cut off where Wells goes, "You're an Ohio son of a bitch. I'm not even worried about you." And then it ended. I didn't see the rest of that. But he sent me like 7 minutes of that now it's my job to cut together and put out into the universe. So the most scathing promo in the history of Monopoly is coming. And I just want everyone to know that. System says, how often is Nigel drunk? A lot. A lot. A lot. A lot.
Yeah, oh
A
yeah.
lot. Nigel gets drunk a lot. Dan's, I think we've had a fun show here. Wouldn't you say?
I loved it.
I was addressing the Dan's, but I was asking you if you thought we had a good show.
Christian said this is the longest stream he's ever seen us do. I think besides the Monopoly matches for a wrestling show, this is pretty long.
Yeah,
and I gotta work tomorrow
yeah,
until midnight, and then I gotta do another show till midnight tomorrow. So
yeah, we're going about 2 hours.
You
but
guys
the last Monopoly game
should appreciate me.
The last Monopoly game was 3.5 hours.
Holy shit!
So that was pretty long. But let's get the fuck out of here. Dan's, I love you all. Follow me on Twitter at IDS616. Follow the artist on Twitter at TheArtist616. We do shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's a lot of shit coming up. Monopoly World Title this Saturday, September 26th. Nigel Bravo defends against Dan Reyes, Amanda Levine, the #1 handsome boy, Michael Thomas Robinson. It's huge. And we're going to be live streaming it right here, probably like 8 or 8:30 Central Time on Saturday. So figure out whatever the fuck that's going to be for you when it goes live. The link will be out. We're going to be right here, though, tomorrow, Monday Night Raw, WWE Raw Talks Live, covering the show. We're going to find out where we're going from here. You know what I'm saying? We love you, Dan Nance. We're going to see you next week.
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace chasing those for the bit.